Tony Pavio will be starting soon.
Ho, ho. Look, I come from a city, you hear signs when we sleep. Heaven sent, hands down, vibes so unique. They ain't play their part, so my part is play for keeps. Why I a kid, but I never saw that.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back into Lock, Loaded, and Goated. We are here live, like always, Wednesday night, 8:30, and here we are. I'm Brandon Andrews. We got Jeff Riddle, we got Tony Pardo, and we got Jordan Elkins, and we are back live on TikTok. We were banned, but we are back. We are back. So, Chad's already saying hypo to Penn State, lock it in. So anyway, he's in the comments. You just gonna have to anyway. And Tony still sucks. That was a comments
Sorry,
directly.
been proven wrong. That's not happening. And hashtag poor Chad still. I do remember a little bit of that. I don't remember much, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, in case we get banned again. All right. So anyway, let's start the show like we always do. And it was rivalry week last week going into championship week. So we're going to discuss what we learned. Riddle, we start with you.
I felt like rivalry week delivered yet again. 6 games featuring top 25 teams were decided by 10 points or less. Just a little caveat here. I'm not trying to get anything started, but this is a stat that needs to be read. Vanderbilt was the only Power 4 team to never have a 10-win season, and they accomplished that Saturday in Knoxville. So kudos to them. Mm-hmm. And the ACC Doomsday playoff scenario is in motion, and they could be left out of the playoffs entirely. We'll get into that a little bit later. I don't think it happens, but
it could.
It could happen.
All right. Tony.
Yeah, I'm going to go totally opposite of you. Rivalry week, my opinion was nothing was very impressive. A lot of boring games. Just nothing special about this last weekend at all. And what I learned after Saturday, was don't mix tequila and whiskey. You have no idea what you're doing.
Tequila makes Tony's clothes fall off.
Yeah,
thank you, Troy. I appreciate you. All right, Jordan. While you're up there doing the exorcist up there with your lights,
I was trying to get it down. My camera was cleaner.
What'd you learn, buddy?
What I learned this week is Diego Pavia might be the most desperate man in America at the current moment. We have a lot of problems in this country, but needing the president to sign an executive order to expand the playoffs because your best season in school history didn't get you there is not at the top of that list.
Well, there you go. Sorry, Vandy.
They have won 4 straight and have not moved in the rankings.
Hey, welcome to Tennessee's world. We can win. We don't move,
Big
we
Hunt.
can lose. We can
Big
lose,
Hunt is with us on the purple, and Big Hunt says the rivalry highlight was Pardo's meltdown. We would tend to agree with you. We would tend to agree with you there.
That was epic.
All right, so as we always do, we're going to start with the riddle. He's giving y'all a layup, so here we go.
Yeah, this is a layup, especially if you're a Georgia fan. You should get this one pretty quick. Kirby Smart has a 1-16-20 record as a head coach. Over his 10 seasons at Georgia, he has won 2 national championships and 3 SEC championships. Kirby Smart has dominated everyone but one team. What is Kirby Smart's record against Alabama, and how many losses were in the SEC championship game?
Ooh, all right. So we got all eyes. Riddle, can you see chats? Can you see all the chats?
Yeah, I got them all up. So.
Okay. All right. So there's the riddle, guys. There's the riddle. So with that said, we are now moving on to our playoff rankings. So this is go ahead.
Jeff, what is the standings right now?
The
riddle race.
Oh yeah, the riddle race. Yeah.
I think I went over that last week. Josh is in first at 24. Deez is second with 20. Big Hunt is at 18, and Chad is at 13.
Ooh. Okay.
So it's getting pretty tight at the top.
It's getting tight. All right. So first things first, we're going to show a graphic on the screen because we're getting into the playoff rankings update. I'm sure we all have lots to talk about. So first thing we're going to do is show this graphic on the screen, and we'll show it and then we'll take it down. But as you can see, here is this is Jeff Riddle's playoff rankings and where he thinks teams should be. Don't mind this guy in the middle. He's a winner. Always has been. And but you can see where Riddle thinks they should be ranked. And then before we move on, we'll go to the actual rankings. And I mean, it's not too far off, but like Riddle said, doomsday scenario for ACC. And you can just see the conference championships right now. And Chad says meltdown incoming. All right, well, here we go. I'm going to take this off the screen now. So with that said, we're going to start with you, Tony, well, let me say that. Let me save that. Okay, Tony, starting with you. Looking at it says number 12 conference champion. I don't want to get into that yet. Let's not get into the what ifs yet. Let's get into the seeds that we know are ranked right now. So looking at this, it says 11 and 12 are conference champs because there is a doomsday scenario that Riddle, I'm going to let you break down. So let's not get into that. Let's get into number 10, Notre Dame. Tony, number 10, Notre Dame. Do they belong?
Do they belong in the playoffs? That's what you're asking me right now.
Well, just number 10. Where do you rank Notre Dame?
I mean, 10 is fine for what it is. I mean, if we're going to give the 11 and 12 to the conference champ, 10, in my opinion, is fine. I know Riddle's going to have an issue with it, which is whatever. But I've always, I've always said you got to have the best teams in the playoffs. And hell, even maybe, and since I say that, and I don't want to come off as a hypocrite, maybe Vandy could be a team in the playoff because they probably could compete. Because let's be honest, some of these teams that might get those last two spots, they're going to be absolute dog water. They're going to get stomped. I've seen it happen last year. But when it comes to Notre Dame at 10, I'm cool with Notre Dame at 10. Any higher, no, because hell, they lost to A&M. Of course, they didn't play anybody else that's in the what besides Miami. And they're on the bubble or what? Miami's on the bubble still, right?
Yeah, Miami's behind Notre Dame.
So Miami did. So I guess you could say one issue with all this crap is that Notre Dame is ahead of Miami. You could flip either one, but they're always going to want to put Notre Dame in there regardless. Because let's face it, that's a money-driven sport. That's why eventually they'll probably add more teams into these playoffs to make it more ridiculous as it is. Because you have teams crying about two losses.
Have December madness before long with 64 teams.
All right, Tony.
And it's not going to look good. That's be a bad product. But no, yeah, I'm cool with Notre Dame at 10.
We're going to go down the whole list. So
yeah, go ahead.
All right, Riddle. So before we get into the doomsday scenarios, let's just go over number 10. Let's do top 10 because that's pretty much set in stone for now. Everything could change after one weekend, though. But let's just go ahead and say Notre Dame. What are your feelings?
I don't think Notre Dame gets in, and you have to look at what the committee did this week. And like I said, I've got a lot of notes on this and the things that they've really fumbled and stuff. But they have set it up now to where they have a safety valve for the screw ups that they've had to this point. They seemingly jumped Alabama ahead of Notre Dame for no reason at all. I'm not saying that that's the wrong order by any means.
So kiss.
They've had Notre Dame above Alabama to this point, and then this week they flip-flop those, which now you have Notre Dame, BYU, and Miami in those three spots. They've honored the head-to-head everywhere else in their top 25 rankings except for Notre Dame and Miami. If Texas Tech does what they did a few weeks ago, BYU loses, then you're going to have Notre Dame and Miami side by side, and you cannot not honor the head-to-head at that point. Miami will have to go in over Notre Dame. This is the position they put themselves in, so it's on them for all these screw-up and stuff. But yes, and if you looked at my bracket, that I actually had Miami at the 10 seed this time because of where they are, and you have to honor the head-to-head now because they have identical records. Their resumes are very close. They settled it on the field, and Miami won. So Miami should get the nod over Notre Dame at this point.
Well, that's a very hot take, guys. So that's a good take by Riddle. I actually like that. Jordan, Notre Dame, any qualms?
Yeah, I mean, flat out, they don't belong. As Jeff said, they lost the head-to-head to Miami. They had 4 common opponents this year. Miami looked better in 3 of those 4 games. I mean, the resumes is kind of close, but I mean, if you really break it down, it's not that close. Miami should get the nod by far across Notre Dame.
Okay. Well, so we did the 10. So what we're going to do now is look at number 9. That's Alabama. I'll just throw my 2 cents in since I am the Alabama guy. I'm glad we moved ahead of Notre Dame. I'm still very uneasy about this weekend. If we get blown out by Georgia, I could honestly see us not making the playoffs. And if we get blown out, do we really deserve the playoffs anyway? No, not really. If it's a close game, like let's say Georgia beats us by 3 or we beat Georgia, then I really don't see much shakeup, but obviously we'd get an automatic bid. So that's the thing for Alabama. I'm okay with 9. I appreciate being ahead of Notre Dame, especially after the schedule we played. All right, Jordan, what do you think, Alabama?
I mean, I have no problem with that right now. In my opinion, if they lose this weekend, they have no business in the playoff. I've been a proponent for a long time. 3 lost teams have no spot in it. That being said, Georgia's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. All right, Tony.
Yeah. You can't put them any higher, obviously. Lost head-to-head to Oklahoma. They didn't play A&M. They didn't play really anyone up there except for Georgia. They did beat Georgia. Georgia obviously only has that 1 loss. So, yeah, I'd still put Alabama ahead of Notre Dame regardless. And I know that Jordan is big on the 3 loss thing and they said last year though, and apparently they're going to hold it still true. Whatever happened, I don't think they're going to punish the team in a
you got to remember that was a different committee that said that's a completely different committee. So
I get that.
That was their rules. That's not this one's rules. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I just know that.
I know, but it's just another game on the schedule. And honestly, if that's the case, then Alabama shouldn't even just play. I'd be like, fuck it. Just take the forfeit if that's the case. So we can't look bad. Well, they can look bad about forfeiting, but they're not going to look bad on a scoreboard, regardless of what happens. I don't feel like that they're going to hold a game like this. Probably a close ass game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. The way they've played, they played recent history. They've been fucking close games. Alabama, historically they win against Georgia, and I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying it is what it is.
It's facts.
But
it's facts.
But yeah, they're usually pretty good games. Like they start off not looking good, and then they're fucking good.
Yeah.
That's just Bama and Georgia football. So regardless, Alabama loses. I think as long as they don't get blown the fuck out, which I highly doubt is going to happen. I still think they're going to be in there, and that 9 spot to me is fine because I can't really place them over anyone else that's ahead of them.
All right, so that's fine. Riddle, Alabama.
The thing with Alabama, and I have to agree with Jordan here, is if they suffer that 3rd loss, there's way too many teams this year sitting there on the fringe that have 1 or 2 losses. You look at BYU, they've got 1 loss, and they're not in right now. Their only loss is to the committee's number 4 team, and they aren't in. So I don't like where Alabama's sitting. Obviously, they win, they're in. Your boy Greg McElroy thinks that they should get a bye if they beat Georgia at 11-2, but
everyone's projecting they'll be a top 4 seed if they beat Georgia. Everyone.
Yeah, but, we've talked about it. It's hard to beat a team twice in the same year.
Yes.
We're going to get another SEC championship game with Alabama and Jordan. And I remember Georgia, and I said years ago that this was going to be a matchup that we see a lot for years to come. But I don't have a problem with where they are because if they win, they're in. But I do agree with Jordan. If they lose, there's way too many teams sitting there with 1 and 2 losses for them to try to justify getting them in. Even Sarkisian's out there trying to get his team in at 9-3.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with them at 9 at all. And if they win, obviously they're clearly in. If they lose, it'll be interesting to see which standard this committee goes with. So,
yeah. So the only thing I'll say, and this is just me throwing out the resident just comment, if for some reason they penalize the SEC and they don't allow Alabama, that penalizes the whole conference because that's 1 less team going to the playoffs, which means 1 less team getting that revenue share, which gets divided equally among all universities. So the deal is,
go ahead.
I was just going to say the deal is does the SEC just start awarding a champion? Because if you're going to penalize them, why even play that game? Why even play that game?
I'll say this real quick. The committee has set a precedent on the way that they've evaluated teams. Not all teams are graded equally. Let me say that first, and that's one of the problems. Number one, there needs to be a set of standards and data that every team equally is graded on. Every team, doesn't matter who you are, it's all the same. That way there's equality throughout these rankings, because some teams are getting rewarded for bad losses. Some teams have been punished for good losses or bad losses, either way. But there needs to be some clarity as to what each team is judged on. And that's part of the problem here.
Yeah.
Because if you compare BYU's resume right now with others that are above them, they have a better resume than 4 teams at least ranked above them right now. If you just blind
what are you looking at
rankings,
resume though?
Right, strength of record, strength of schedule, overall record, like the things that they're supposed to be graded on.
Yeah.
If you compare them blindly, I guarantee you everybody would pick BYU to be in right now.
Well, number one, you need some damn ball knowers on the committee and not these fucking geriatrics.
Right.
Yeah.
And I agree with that completely. This whole getting ADs and presidents of universities and just having 12 people in a room that probably don't spend any time watching football shouldn't be deciding who gets to play for a national championship. And I know Tony don't want to hear this, but tell me Vandy doesn't deserve a shot. But there's there's about 17 teams there.
It's not hard for him either.
Right. There's about 17 teams there that probably deserve the opportunity to play. And it brings up the whole Florida State thing from a few years ago. They got left out of the playoff being undefeated and an ACC champion because their quarterback was injured.
Yeah.
And Ole Miss got moved up in the rankings this week, and they lost their head coach and the majority of their offensive staff. Now, I'll get into that later with Weiss being able to stay and call the plays, but that has to affect something. It has to. If that's the precedent that was laid out beforehand, why all of a sudden does it not matter now?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a good point. It's a really good point. So, okay, just looking at it, just basically going down the list. Number 8 is Oklahoma right now. Highly doubt anyone has an issue with that, but we'll start with you, Tony. Oklahoma, any problems?
No, I mean they've pretty much taken care of business, for the most part. They've won. They're on this hot streak right now. Even though their win recently against LSU was really ugly, they still win. I guess style points don't matter. Apparently, they don't matter. They're not going to drop them. They got the head-to-head win over Bama, so I can't place. Like I said. They've been hot, and it's that recency bias, and that's what they're going to remember. It's not what happened, early in the season, and we've discussed this before. It's about what are you doing right now. That's what they're going to look at. They're going to have Oklahoma in. I see a few on the talk. One guy in particular says Oklahoma is going to be in. They have the best defense. I guess. I mean, they're a good team. They have
a really good defense.
Yeah, they do.
They do have a good defense.
They can be beat though.
Oh yeah.
And we, it's hard for me to say if they have a great defense. I don't know if they have a great defense. They have a good defense.
I agree, Big Stack.
I just, it's almost one of the things you got to put them. They're in there based off the record, how hot they've been, and by default. I mean, that's what it is. By default. I mean, you can't place them any higher. You're definitely not going to place them any lower. Possibly now. I don't know if Riddle. I don't know if you have an issue with maybe them. What about them being in over such a team like BYU? Do you have an issue with them being?
No, they're not one of the teams that I have an issue with, and they're at 8 because you have to respect that the committee respected the head-to-head with Alabama. That's why they're at 8 and Alabama's at 9.
Yeah,
and that just goes back to me saying they've respected the head-to-head in every situation except for the Notre Dame Miami situation.
And which is yeah. So, Riddle, Oklahoma, any issues?
I don't. They have an LSU problem, though. Tony brought up that game. They are very comparable to LSU. They have a very, very good defense, whereas LSU just has a good defense. But their offense has some strong problems. Ever since Mateer got hurt and since he's come back, that offense has really struggled. Mm-hmm. And I think the reason that Mateer was in the Heisman conversation at the beginning of the year was because of the competition that they were playing.
Thank you for following.
And as their schedule got harder, they started to struggle more and more, and they don't have any kind of identity on offense, and that's going to be a problem for them moving forward. Their defense has won them their games.
Yeah, exactly. And I meant to left this out. They remind me of Tennessee last year. They barely do enough to survive. And their defense kind of keeps them in the games. That's what I've been seeing. If their defense didn't show up a lot, at least to make that big turnover and shit like that, they probably lose about 5 games this year. That's why it's hard for me to say that they're a great team. They're a good team. That's it. A good team, a good defense that made timely plays like Tennessee did last year, and the offense is sus. I mean,
there's only 2 great teams in college football this year.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, there's
right now, honestly, and they play Saturday.
Now, all you have to do is go on a tear like Ohio State did last year, and all that could change. But right now, we're all good. Some teams are very good. Right. Some teams are very good.
Said it. Usually, we watch football. The 4 of us watch football every Saturday, and we watch it in depth, and we watch it a little differently than most people. But those 2 teams have put themselves head and shoulders above everybody else, and we look for that every year. The team that's, separated themselves. Georgia did it those back-to-back years. You knew Georgia was the best team in the country, even though they slipped up against Alabama in the SEC championship game, the first national championship year. And Ohio State slipped up against Michigan last year. But then they beat the hell out of everybody they played in the playoffs. And even the national championship game against Notre Dame, which was the scoreboard was close, but the game wasn't that close, and it never felt that close.
It didn't, yeah. So, Jordan, give me Oklahoma, and then we're going to speed it up.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. They're probably about right. Okay. I don't know that they compete past the first round, but
it just depends on, first round, the matchup matters. Okay, so that said, I'm going to give you these because I do want to get a breakdown of the overall playoffs and talk about doomsday scenario for ACC. So we're going to speed it up. If you agree with the ranking, because as we get higher up, it should be pretty clear. Yeah. Just say agree. And then if you have a specific topic or point to bring up, we'll just go from there. So we're going to go to number 7, Texas A&M. So 7, Texas A&M. Jordan, agree, disagree?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Me too. Tony?
Yeah, I agree. All of it.
All right. Riddle.
The above.
A&M's where it's 7. That's where I've got them as well.
Okay. So next we're going to Ole Miss. Riddle, we start back with you.
That one's tricky. The fact that Charlie Weiss was allowed to stay, even though he's going with Lane Kiffin to LSU, the fact that he was allowed to stay, that's somebody that knows the way Kiffin wants to run an offense. He knows this team. He's going to be calling the plays. So, therefore, that takes away a little bit of the hit of Lane Kiffin leaving for LSU. So, I'm okay with where they're at, but I don't think I don't know. We'll have to see. There's a lot of stuff that's come out about the players and what Kiffin has said, and now the players reacting to that. And if that's the case, this team will be just fine. But there was a lot of coaches that left, and I feel like that has to be taken into account in some way. Now, where they're at is perfectly fine. They're still going to have to win, 4 games?
What's up, Lejay?
3 games to win the national championship. So they're still going to have their work cut out for them. So I'm fine with where they are right now.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is I want everybody to know how cool or whatever you want to say is it Lane Kiffin wanted to coach this game. They didn't want him to. I understand that. But now his offensive coordinator that has clearly went with him to LSU and has signed a contract with LSU, he's letting him come back and coach that game. I mean, to me, that's a pretty big deal. It's a big deal to me.
I talked to Jordan about this at work the last 2 days. There's fault on both sides of that. You can't blame Lane Kiffin for how ugly this has been, and you can't just blame the AD and Ole Miss for how ugly this has been. There is blame on both sides, and this was not handled well by either side. So
someone said Ole Miss versus North Texas, amazing playoff.
Could possibly be a really good game.
It could be. So Alabama's at 9. For those that joining up on the talk, Alabama's at 9, and we talked about it. It's one of those things where if we lose this game on Saturday, we could be out. So that's where we're at. So just going down the list, we're trying to kind of expedite our way through this. Sorry. And looking at 5, we have Oregon. Oregon at 5. Jordan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm fine with Oregon right there. On Ole Miss, I don't necessarily agree with them at that spot. The fact
Sorry,
that they hired
Jordan.
Pete Golding, and they think he'll lead them to anywhere besides just the toilet. I can't get behind that.
So
I agree with Oregon where they're at.
So an interesting comment came through on Facebook and said, when Pete Golding was at Alabama, they had the number 2 ranked defense, the number 3 ranked defense. You know, they were just going over these stats. And
That's Nick Saban.
100%. And I told him, and the fact that Alabama fans still thought he sucked should tell you all you need to know about Pete
Can I give
Golding.
the people on Facebook that was saying that one example real quick, and we'll move on?
Yes.
Mel Tucker was Kirby Smart's defensive coordinator for some very, very good Georgia teams that won national championships and everything else. Dan Lanning, I know, came in, but Mel Tucker was the defensive coordinator for some very good teams. He got a head coaching job. I don't know if you've heard how he turned out as a head coach. Those were Kirby Smart defenses, just like those were Nick Saban defenses. So a lot of the credit goes to these head coaches, especially like Heupel with Tennessee's offense. Heupel is the Tennessee offense. So you can't Golding, I will see, but I think he's got a very, very uphill battle there.
Okay. Tony, or any issues with Oregon?
No, obviously can't put me in higher because they're not going to get a first round bye. So yeah, that's fine. 5. I mean, even though I said they are ass early in the season, but yeah, 5's good. 5's good.
All right, Riddle, you're good with Oregon.
I actually have Oregon at 4. Their only losses to the number 2 team in the nation, and they handled their business everywhere else.
Yeah.
So I actually still have them at 4. There is a possibility lose this weekend, which is not out of the realm of possibilities, that 3 Big Ten teams have the byes. So I have Oregon 1 spot higher. I have them in Texas Tech flip, so not a big change, but as far as the playoffs go, that's the difference between a bye and a home game. So
okay. Was it just me, Jordan, or did Riddle freeze up for about a minute?
Yeah, it froze. I was like, wait, what? I thought maybe my phone.
I thought we lost the feed.
Well, all I said was Oregon's got 1 loss to Indiana. They've taken care of business. Like, they deserve to be up there too. That's the gist of it. I have them in Texas Tech flip-flopped, and the only difference is a home game and a bye in that situation. So,
okay, Tony, what do you think about Texas Tech?
I like them. I guess you can argue you put them at 3 spot 2, whatever. Flip Georgia or them, whichever one. But Tech's really good. They're a really good team.
Yeah. So Jordan, Texas Tech.
Yeah, I mean, hell, Tech this year best team money can buy.
Yep.
And here as of late they've been playing like it.
And just so everyone's clear, this 2 years now we've had a 12-team playoff. In 2 years, the teams that have spent the most money in the NIL era each year have went to the playoffs. And Texas Tech looking like, even with they could be in the playoffs for sure with the win, but obviously if they lose, they still are in a good spot. But we'll see. There's a lot of scenarios that could play out there. But I think the reason why they didn't flop Oregon and Texas Tech is they don't want 3 Big Ten teams having bye weeks. I think that's all it is.
I get that part of it.
Yeah.
But this committee has been all about the eye test, and they valued the good losses. They valued the good losses, and Oregon has the best 1 loss in the nation.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
So they said Raiola, Fatty Mahomes is going to Texas Tech, spending that money.
Well, good luck for them next year.
Yeah, good luck for them. So, all right, just real quick, we're going to go over the top 3 real quick. Riddle, Georgia. So we're going to do Georgia, Indiana, Ohio State.
Ohio State. I have no problem with that order. That's the way I have them. Until otherwise, that's the way it should be.
All right. Tony? Good?
Yeah. That's fine.
Jordan, you good?
I'm good with it.
Okay, so now we're going to get into the doomsday scenarios of the playoffs. So the thing that I want to look at is if I'm going to throw out this scenario, and I want you to respond on what you think transpires. So first and foremost, let's go ahead. I'm not going to talk about the prediction of the game, but if North Texas or Tulane win, are they in? Riddle, we start with you.
So the winner of the American is in no matter what. It does not matter
Okay.
what happens. They are in the playoff. The other situation that could arise, you have a 7-5 Duke team playing for the ACC championship against Virginia. And I believe that spread that we got is 3.5. And we'll talk about that later. But if Duke were to win that game and Notre Dame stays above Miami for whatever damn reason Yurachek comes up with, that means the ACC would be left out, and then James Madison would go into the playoff. I've had James Madison ranked in my top 25 for about 3 weeks now. I still had him on my graphic as the Group of 5 representative. That's not going to happen. I think they deserve it. But yeah, if Duke beats Virginia, you will have the winner of the American and James Madison, as long as they beat Troy, in the playoff, and the ACC will be left out unless Miami gets an at-large bid.
Okay. All right. So Jordan, any comment, anything on those wild card games out there?
No,
I mean,
no.
I don't think any of those teams have a shot at doing anything really making a splash, but at the end of the day, it's worth mentioning because they are going to make the playoffs. So what we're going to do is just look at this scenario here. So I got the graphic pulled up, and so the next scenario is, and like we've already discussed, if Alabama loses, are they out? And I've already said my piece. If they lose big, they're out. If they lose close, and when I say close, I mean 3 points or less, I could see them finding a way to stay in because they would have a win over Georgia, and they would have a close loss to Georgia, and then but 3 losses do look bad, and I could see it going both ways. So real quick, just for people that are just coming in, we've already talked about it kind of. Riddle, if Alabama loses, are they out?
I think they're out. And it might be the saving grace for the committee, because then you can just put Notre Dame and Miami in, and you could even put that as the matchup for one of those seedings, and it saves them. It really does.
Thank you for following, Justin.
I don't think with a loss that they get in, though, because you have to look at that opening loss. I know it was a long time ago. It was the first game of the year, and I don't like looking at it that way because Alabama's a different team now than they were then. They have probably the worst loss in the nation of all these top teams, but that came on opening weekend, and then they went to Georgia and ended their winning streak at Georgia. That means something. They've had a really good year. I think they're a really good football team. I'm not going to knock Alabama, but it's going to be very hard for the committee to justify putting Alabama in at this point with 3 losses when you have so many teams sitting there with 1 or 2 losses. I do think BYU loses again. That'll knock them way down. They'll be out of the conversation. So there are avenues to where they could get in. But honestly, this committee and the idiocracy that I've seen with this committee, if Alabama loses, they'll use that as an excuse to put both Notre Dame and Miami in and save face.
Jordan. Bama loses, they're out.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like Jeff said, there's too many teams that with 1 or 2 losses that would deserve a spot that you're gonna have a hard time if you're the committee making that argument.
Yeah, Tony.
Doesn't mean they're better teams. But with a 3
yeah, I got. I mean, it's fine. Tony, Bama loses. Are they in? Or are they out?
I know what I know what Riddle and them's saying. I just if that's the case, then there doesn't need to be a conference championship game. It just needs to end, period. And then, that's
just award the champion and call it a day.
That's it. That's why I don't think that they're still, regardless if it was a different committee last year or not, I do not think they're going to punish.
41st, it's never been about the best teams.
Any team in a Power 4 outside the ACC, because they are dog water. I could see that one. But I cannot see them with the schedule say Alabama had this year that they're going to keep them out because, and I said they did lose that week 1. I've always said you can catch a team week 1. You just can. It doesn't matter.
It happens.
That game's just a wash. Even though I know it is, it's on the record as a loss. I never bought into the Florida State hype to begin with. They fooled a lot of people after that game. Thinking that there was something, and we were talking about how, Florida State went and got all these guys out of the portal. And one of my concerns was I don't think they're going to mesh well. They didn't mesh well at all. They turned out to be a big old turd. That's just what they are. They just caught Alabama first game in, you know, that's when teams usually try to knock the rust off and get right. It's almost like another practice. But I'm not going, if it's me, I'm not going to knock them out of the playoff scenario because of a loss in a championship game. Like I said, if that's it, if we're going to do that, then just no conference championship game.
Yeah. And I agree with you, Tony. I agree with you. Like we just said that, like, if you're going to do that, then it's not benefiting us because the SEC makes revenue off playoff appearances. So it would just, go ahead.
This sets the precedent, like, to back Tony here, that if you're going to get punished for having to play that extra game that nobody else has to play, just whoever finishes first in the standings at the end of the year, that's your conference champion.
But
I mean, there's no reason to play the conference championship game.
And I'm playing devil's advocate to myself.
Right.
The revenue that's generated from the SEC championship is far greater.
We know it's about money. For anybody that doesn't think that all of this is about revenue and money has lost their mind.
But we also don't realize I don't know what the TV contract could look like. You know what I mean? Like, consistent national championships obviously promotes big money. The SEC does not have the media markets that the Big Ten does. We don't.
Right.
We have great markets and we always pull the best ratings. We've proven that year over year. It doesn't even matter. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But bottom line is for whatever reason, it's going to be tough. I don't know, to keep doing this way, especially when you got teams that don't even have to play in a title game and be just guaranteed the playoffs every year. So
let me just address a couple chats because my chat's not working on.
Okay, that's cool.
For
Go
whatever
ahead.
reason. Big Hunt, I agree with what you said over on the purple. Can't say that a 3-loss Bama or Texas deserves to be in over Notre Dame.
I agree with that.
And then on the TikTok, Bomb Diggity said that Bama should have been in or above Notre Dame anyway to begin with, and I also agreed with that because there was no reason the committee flip-flopped those teams this week. There was nothing that happened this week that made the committee say, oh, Bama's the better team. Yeah. They just did that because they're setting up this scenario to be able to save face in the end. That's all that was.
Yeah. So here's I got two more questions, and then we're going to move on to the next topic. Next question is, if BYU upsets Texas Tech, is Texas Tech out of the playoffs? They essentially will have the same record as BYU now. No good wins. Zero good wins. The only good win you're going to say is another slouch-ass team that beat another team from the Big 12. The Big 12 sucks.
The only thing that's saving Texas Tech is the way that they've won.
Yes.
If you look at their stats and compare them against anybody else in the nation, offensively and defensively, where they rank, they might be the most complete team based off of the stats.
Agreed.
And for people that don't watch college football, let me tell you something. Those stats carry weight.
If they lose, though,
5
Riddle.
points, maybe.
If they lose, Riddle.
If they lose, I think BYU and them are both in.
You still think they're both in?
That's a terrible situation for the ACC as well, because then if Alabama loses to Georgia, you can't put Notre Dame and Miami in. You still got to make that tough decision where you've had Notre Dame above Miami the whole time.
And just the cool thing about that is BYU and them play first. So Alabama will know, because if BYU beats Texas Tech, a win is all you've got. You have to win.
We'll talk about this again later, but this game has already happened one time this year, and it was very handily one way. So
I know. Yeah,
it was worse than the score showed.
Yes, it was.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. So here's the last question.
Morton hurt as well.
Yes.
So the last question, just to move on so we can move on to the next big topic. But the last question, Jordan, I'm starting with you. Indiana, Ohio State. How far does the one team that loses fall? It's one loss, and the only loss you'll have is against the new number one team in the nation. Or it could be the number one team in the nation.
I think it depends on how some things behind them play out. But I can very easily see if it's like a field goal game, they could both stay on that byline. A touchdown or more, either way, they probably fall off the byline, depending on what happens behind them during the day.
So my only thing to that, Jordan, is where they have Oregon at. You can't drop them behind Oregon. They'll have the same record and a head-to-head.
Oh, that's fine.
I mean,
they only have one loss.
Texas Tech,
yeah, I'm good with that.
The only thing you could do there to what you said, and it could happen, is they could move Texas Tech Indiana would be behind Texas Tech if Texas Tech wins handily and Georgia wins. But if Georgia loses, they don't come off that byline.
I think if Georgia wins, and I think Georgia moves up to number 2. I mean, that's my opinion right now. That's my opinion.
It'll be interesting to see how the committee evaluates that. But if this is a close game, like Georgia said, or Jordan said, this very well, they could stay at 1 and 2. And
then they
if
could.
Indiana wins, they'll flip flop.
I think a lot of it depends on the product on the field Saturday night.
Right.
Kevin Lynch says Vanderbilt ain't getting in, are they? It's every scenario we've looked at does not show Vanderbilt getting in. It would have to be total chaos. Like
maybe next year.
Really
like Duke beating Virginia.
LSU last week.
Like Duke beating Virginia.
The committee put a 3-loss Texas team above them. They have no avenue.
Yeah.
To the playoff now.
I think that is. And that's true.
That was baffling.
But
that's true.
They honored the head-to-head in that situation, and they don't even have identical records. And that's what makes the Notre Dame Miami situation even more just mind-blowing.
So Billy says Bama's going to lose and miss the playoffs. Probably. If they lose, they're out. Probably. All right. So moving on to our next topic. I'm sorry, guys. There was so much to talk about. And we're winding down to where this is. Yeah, we're winding down. We're going to try to keep it relatively concise on this one, though. So now we're moving on to the coach carousel. We talked about this probably ad nauseum all year because there's been so much going on. Lane Kiffin finally decides he is going to coach Ole Miss. I'm not Ole Miss, LSU. Sorry, I had the Pete Golding. I had the Pete Golding stuck in my head. So he's gonna go. He's gonna go to LSU and he's gonna coach. So I have a graphic because we've talked about Coach Carousel week over week, and I thought this graphic would be great for. It's on the screen now if you can see it. So it's grading the new hires in college football, and I'm just gonna go down the list. So we got Jim Mora, an A+ for Colorado State. Okay, I agree with that. Anyone that watched any football, Jordan, UConn, one of the surprise teams that crazy enough, I never thought in a million years this show would be talking about a UConn team. But Jordan, you brought it up multiple times. So good job for Jim Mora. Absolute respect. John Summerall at Florida, they're giving him an A+.
That's crazy to me.
Okay. Again, this wasn't mine, but Lane Kiffin, they give an A. I can see that being an A. Alex Golesh is an A-. I do think Auburn hit a home run with Alex Golesh. Arkansas should absolutely be a fucking shame to themselves because Alex Golesh was coming to you. You could have been the A-. And you got mad.
Yeah,
you got mad. So shame on Arkansas.
You can't say it's not because they didn't have money.
Yeah. So shout out to our boy Jamarcus Shepard. He was Alabama's wide receiver coach this year. He had went to Oregon State.
What the hell that was.
Dude, he's a good coach. He's a very good coach.
We're going to find out because he's heading to the shit show.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. I don't know how he's going to do as a head coach though. To Vita Pritchard, I don't even know who this is for Stanford.
He was a backup quarterback when Luck was at Stanford.
Wow. Okay. There you go. So they're buddies. Eric Morris at Oklahoma State. I actually disagree with this. I think Eric Morris is an absolute home run hire. He, to me, I'm not going to say he's like he's over Jamarcus Shepard. He is over Jamarcus Shepard. And Big Hunt, we're going to get to that one. It's not on here, but we're going to get to that one. That one just came through. Yeah. But Eric Morris, Pat Fitzgerald at Michigan State. I actually like this hire for Michigan State. Northwestern was competitive while he was there. I don't know. I like that hire for him. And then Ryan Silverfield. Memphis had great teams. Ryan Silverfield, he held up his end of the deal, and he kept Memphis in the winning circle. But when you could have had Alex Golesh, Arkansas should be absolutely dismayed. And then the last but certainly not least, Ole Miss hiring Pete Golding without even interviewing a single candidate. Absolute travesty. Ole Miss, you will now be the dumpster fire that we all dreamed of. So congratulations.
Daniel Wilson just came in on the tube. We just covered that, Daniel. I know you like to listen to the podcast version of that, and you'll hear our takes on that, but you're absolutely right on what you said. The chaos scenario with Duke winning and then Tulane and James Madison getting in.
And so now the graphic is hidden. So there's two more we're going to talk about. Well, we're going to talk about Brian Hartline going to USF. We all love that. And then we're also going to discuss the Penn State job. So with that said, I don't mean to go. We're just going to throw it. Jordan, we'll start with you. I feel like you're the most clear cut and concise when it comes to these things. Talk to me about Coach Carousel. What's on the horizon? Do you see anything else out there coming? How bad is Penn State?
Yeah. I think there's I seen someone say so. Well, hold up. Go ahead, Jordan.
What I'm saying is an absolute collapse from Penn State. I don't know how much y'all have seen. I shared it earlier. I don't know if you saw it or not. For those watching, BYU's coach, BYU's number one booster is the owner / CEO of Crumble Cookie. Mm-hmm. If you are Penn State and the boosters, you just got outbid by Crumble Cookie. So today at Virginia Tech's signing day party, James Franklin personally bought Crumble cookies for dessert for every table at the event. I love that level of pettiness. I appreciate it so much.
That is Jeff Riddle approved.
Tony Pardo approved. I ain't alone.
I meant the pettiness.
Absolutely.
All right. If
That's
that
where me and
door,
my wife celebrated getting married was Crumble Cookie.
Yeah,
Chad with the comment of the night. Chad with the comment of the night. If that door wasn't behind Jordan, I'd swear he was on the toilet. So, all right, Tony, coaching carousel. Is there anything else out there that's going to come down the pipe? And then what do you think about old Penn State?
At this point, I don't know. Hartline's most recent. I don't know who. Honestly, Penn State now. Now Penn State is in the boat that we thought LSU was going to be in. Like legit, Penn State is in that boat. They're going to have to just take whoever they can get at this point. Jordan would say biblical. They're in some biblical trouble, like proportions. Biblical proportions of trouble right now. That university is in chaos. It's pretty much a step down at this point at time because they're losing recruits left and right. I did see where someone said earlier today that right now the situation they're in, Penn State's in, it's terrible for them, but in the future it looks bright. How? How is that bright? I mean, no, this is looking bad. I mean, it's looking bad. And let's say you just hit some home run on someone we never heard of, comes in and just absolutely, just, I don't know, brings this Nick Saban effect or something. A coach like that. That's what it's going to take.
Have you seen the list of the people they've reached out to?
Everyone.
Yeah. Have you seen the list? They reached out to Urban Meyer. Mm-hmm. They've reached out to. They have turned over every rock.
Everybody. The only person they haven't contacted yet that's available is Gundy and Kelly. That's it.
They literally went and talked to Urban Meyer's cardiologist to make sure he was okay to fit to coach. I mean, it was just one of them deals where they were desperate.
Yeah, that's desperation. Which I mean,
they're going to grab a high school coach from Pennsylvania before it's all said and done.
Well, yeah, it's desperate in the sense that you're literally wanting to get a guy who Urban Meyer, great football head coach, college, not football, college, not because he sucked the NFL. Mm-hmm. I guess if I was that desperate, I'd be willing to take a chance with someone like that, even though he has those fake heart attacks and stuff all the time. Maybe you get about 4 good years out of him before he has a fake heart attack, and then you can build upon that. I just look at it like that. But now at this point, you're selling, Brian Kelly and who do we say? I don't even know. Like those.
If you told me
that they haven't contacted,
if you told me.
Ray, you're not wrong. They said they didn't contact Art Briles either.
If you told me I could get Urban Meyer, who's a national championship winning coach at 2 different universities, if I'm Penn State, I'm fucking dripping. My mouth is salivating. Riddle, before you go, because I know you'll have some good content on this. I just like I said, my biggest thing. I still think we have already hit the nail on the head with who Penn State ends up with. I think Brian DeBall is going to be the guy who ends up there. He's a good coach. He was good, not great. I don't think he was a good NFL coach by any stretch of the imagination, but they had some moments of
I think he gets the most out of his players, though. He would be that kind of coach.
I think that's where they end
I
up.
don't think he's the guy, though, because if he was going to be the guy, you'd already made that move before signing day.
Right. You
It's not
needed
like
to
he
make.
wasn't available. You're not waiting for
Right.
the NFL season to end.
And
So
that's
the
my
fact
big
that
thing.
they've not made that move yet, I don't know. Either he's told him he's not interested in the college ranks, or
That's true.
He's not on the radar.
That's true.
Right.
Well,
So
there you
my
go.
thing is, and I back Jordan 100% on this, because you fired James Franklin 2 months ago.
You fired him in October.
Yeah, and then you've watched as every other vacancy came open and got filled by every top, outside of Ole Miss, every top candidate for a job. And you've put yourself, and I hate to bring this up for you and Tony, Jordan, but this reminds me of, was it 2008 or 2009? Lane Kiffin comes to Tennessee. He's bringing in an excellent class. Like, he just took a very bad Dooley team, had a winning record with them. He leaves in the middle of the night, and all them recruits go with him.
No, Dooley was after Kiffin. Kiffin came right in after Fat Phil.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Fatty.
So, but that was still a bad team that he took over, got them to a winning record, and then had a big time class coming in.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad team. They were in the SEC title game 2 years before that.
Right, but I'm saying,
but yeah, I what you're saying.
yeah, and then all them recruits and the recruiting class that he was bringing in, they followed him to USC. And then look how long. Well, it's still, you look what it done to Tennessee. There was years of turmoil there. Even Butch Jones, great recruiter, got guys in but couldn't develop talent. Penn State is ranked 100 this morning. This has changed, obviously, but this morning when I did my notes and was looking this up, on 247 Sports, they were 144th nationally. That's what their recruiting class was ranked. That's behind Army and Navy, who can only have service members on their teams, and Montana State. That's where they're at right now. Now, they're obviously going to be better. They're going to move up. They've probably already moved up. I haven't looked at it recently. But the fact of the matter is they are dead last amongst Power 4 teams in recruiting. That's going to hurt you for a long period of time. That's not something you just fix overnight. Now, possibly can. You get the right guy in here. We're in the transfer portal era. You can get some guys in there. Right.
The number one thing.
But they're sitting on their hands, and everybody's turning them down.
Yep.
And they had 6 verbal commits as of this morning. That's it.
Yeah.
So they're in bad shape. Their decision to fire James Franklin has backfired.
It set them back a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
So we got a couple of comments in the chat. Lee Billingsley said that he's waiting for DeBoer. He's waiting for DeBoer, and you just don't leave Titletown to go
unless
I'm 90% sure DeBoer's already told him no.
Right,
I thought he did
something.
But it could put Nick Saban.
Would that not be the reason they haven't signed anybody else? If they have something that nobody knows about, say Alabama loses the SEC championship game and left out of the playoff, has DeBoer maybe told them that if we lose this game, I'll go ahead and come up there? And they've just waited.
I don't think so. I mean, you've swung and missed at so many targets. I don't.
And that'd be very reckless.
Secret plan laying in the weeds. You know?
Right, and I agree.
You're right, 41st. He could probably win more at Penn State. Yeah, and that's simply because it's easier. It's easier. It's easier to win there.
Year in and year out. But look what he took the worst possible job when he left Washington to come to Alabama. And the reason I say it was the worst possible job is not because of the talent and all that. It was because you have the biggest fucking shoes to fill coming to Alabama.
Yeah. He does not strike me as that guy to run away.
Right. And everybody has said that. But I know last year was, to Saban's standards, was a down year. But he's got you back in the SEC championship game in year 2. Could be back in the playoffs in year 2. I mean,
that's all we can ask. Have a shot.
Yeah. I mean, he could have stayed at Washington, win 10 games a year, and
absolutely
been set for life.
Yes.
You know.
Oh yeah, they would have built statues to him.
With the standard in Tuscaloosa, just win 10 games a year ain't going to cut it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's those Saban standards that nobody's going to meet. Kirby Smart might be the best coach in college football. He's got 2 national titles. He's still got to win 5 more in a very short time frame to even get close to Nick Saban talk.
Yeah, and the deal is, Riddle, is don't think it was Nick Saban standards, because they did the same thing to Ray Perkins and Bill Curry when they were there, because
And I agree with that. But Saban set the standard of what the greatest is.
Yeah, 100%. And the deal is, though, is like, even when you tried to follow someone like Bear, it just, no one could ever live up to those shoes. And even when you did an excellent job with it, it wasn't enough.
Right. There's only one reason I have an Alabama football in my fucking house, and it's because it's signed by Nick Saban.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's the best. All right. So we're going to move on.
Yeah. We're going to move on. Wife's.
Yeah.
It says
we're going to move on. Yeah. Mark Tipton said, sorry ass Bear Bryant bought a bunch of players too. Mark Tipton, I don't even know who your team is, but I promise you they were buying players too.
Hey, he didn't like the fact that you said
Arch Manning flat out was bought.
Is a terrible hire. He didn't like the fact that you said that Ole Miss hire is terrible.
That is an absolute trash ass hire. That's a trash ass hire. The fact that anyone hired Pete Golding as a head coach, Jordan, you can speak. You're not even an Alabama fan. That's an absolute trash hire. If you know football at all, it's a trash hire.
The only person I seen lobbying for him was Tony Pardo, and hell, he was blackout drunk Saturday. I mean,
you weren't even talking about him.
Yeah, that's a great hire. I'll take that.
I said that.
Yeah, you said that. You got video proof.
Yeah. Okay. You were talking about somebody completely different. You just said the wrong name.
No,
you were talking about Al Golding, not Al Golden, not Pete Golding.
Cincinnati Bengals coordinator.
Yeah.
Whoops, my bad. Wrong one.
Yeah. All right. So, 41st says Ole Miss drop and fumble the ball, 100%. So, we're going on to the next topic, and we're going to move on to our matchups for the weekend.
You want the records?
Yes. Lead the way.
All right. So, Jordan, 43 and 34. This is against the spread now for the people, the listeners. This is where you make money listening to our show. Jordan is 43 and 34 against the spread. Brandon, 42 and 35 against the spread. I am 40 and 37 against the spread. And hey, I got to take my hat off to Pardo after the start he's had. He is now 30 and 47 against the spread.
Who would have thought?
There we go.
I'm coming back.
30 winners on the year.
That's right.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, we're going to start out hot and on fire. So we're starting out with the American Championship, the American Conference Championship, and we have North Texas at number 24, Tulane. North Texas, a 2.5-point favorite. We're going to start with you, Tony.
I didn't spend really too much time. I've seen both of these teams play this year. Tulane, they really don't impress me. They're a Jekyll and Hyde type team. 1 week they come out, play really well. Next week they kind of they still pull off some wins though, obviously, but they just don't look really good doing it. I know we say win's a win, but a lot of their wins, well, some of them, quite a few of them, were struggle wins, in my opinion. Struggle wins versus compared to North Texas, where they did get the doors blown off them by Alex Golesh-led Bulls team, which that's understandable. Both teams, high-flying offenses. Tulane, I feel like their defense is okay. They're pretty good. I think they can keep them in the games for the most part. Not a fan of Retzloff, though, at quarterback. I think North Texas, I just like them. I like North Texas. I like the fact that they can score a lot of points. Tulane can too, but are we going to get that consistent Tulane team that can score points? Because, a lot of times they struggle. I think Tulane's going to have to put about 40-plus to win this game. So, with that being said, hell, give me North Texas to pull this one off and cover that spread.
Mark Tipton said, dude's sitting down with a headset on like he's on the field.
Which one you talk about, me or Tony?
I don't.
And Brandon's got an earpiece in, too. So, just because we got headsets on.
Mine's more FBI-ish.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Riddle, we'll be able to hear each other.
Riddle, go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
So the winner of this matchup, they're in the playoffs, plain and simple. And to what Tony said, Tulane's offense is Jake Retzlaff. That's it. He's leading the team in passing and rushing.
agree,
He's
Lee.
at 2,717 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 560 yards rush, 61 yards rushing, and 14 touchdowns. North Texas, they need to win this game to keep their coach and their quarterback, because I'm going to go ahead and say that Mestamaker follows Morris to Oklahoma State. I don't think he'll stay at North Texas either. But Mestamaker has thrown for 3,835 yards this year, 29 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. The key that when I was looking this up is North Texas has scored 52 or more points in 5 of their last 6 games. They haven't allowed more than 25 points in any of those games. The loser of this game will play their bowl game without their head coach. That's what they're playing for here. I'm also taking North Texas plus the 2.5 here.
Jordan.
Yeah, North Texas is one bad half of football away from being a 12-0 team this year. That game of South Florida was tied 21-all at the half. That being said, we all know Chad Morris is headed to Oklahoma State. Mestamaker goes to Stillwater with him, and I believe the running back Hawkins also goes to Stillwater with him, trying to rejuvenate that program. All that said, though, give me North Texas, the Mean Green, minus 2.5.
Yeah, we're gonna make it a clean sweep. I'm going North Texas. I think the impact on John Summerall leaving for Tulane and trying to do double duty at Florida and Tulane is going to be more impactful than Morris. I think Morris is still trying to stamp out his legacy, because Oklahoma State, it's not the same job as Florida right now. We all know that. So I think he's
got a big job ahead.
Yeah.
Right. And he knows, and Morris knows who his 2 big playmakers coming with him are.
Yeah.
Whereas
So
Summerall don't.
I got a feeling there's less pressure on North Texas. I got North Texas. All right, moving on. We're going to the Big 12 conference title game. We have number 11 BYU at number 5 Texas Tech. Texas Tech. And I don't remember this, and correct me if I'm wrong, 12.5-point favorites, one of the largest spreads I've ever seen in a conference championship game. I know it's not the largest. I didn't say that. I said one of the largest I can remember. So here we go. We're going to start with you, Riddle. Go.
Yeah, the first meeting this year, BYU turned the ball over 3 times. It was very sloppy, like we alluded to earlier. This game wasn't as close even as the score was the first time, and it was still a 22-point win for Texas Tech. I think that Jacob Rodriguez should be in everybody's Heisman conversation. I think he's going to wreak havoc. Absolutely. Texas Tech has the 5th ranked total defense in the nation and the 4th ranked offense in the nation. They're going to put up points, and they're hard to score on, especially in the Big 12. I'm taking Texas Tech minus the 12.5.
Okay. Jordan.
Yeah, this line's set at 12.5. I think it gets closer to 2 touchdowns by kickoff as we go in the week. I'm going with Texas Tech. That first game wasn't as close as even the score indicated. I don't think BYU will have as many turnover issues this game, but I still don't see them hanging with Texas Tech.
Okay. All right. Tony.
Yeah, I think BYU, I know they for sure want to run the ball. They like to, drain a lot of clock. I just don't think they're going to be able to run on Texas Tech. That's probably mean even medium. The only way BYU can keep this game somewhat close on the spread is if they are able to somewhat run. I don't think they'll be able to run much. I think it's going to be kind of like that Michigan-Ohio State game I watched this past weekend. I think this is what this game's kind of going to be like, in my opinion. Texas Tech, dominant defense. Of course, their offense isn't like crazy explosive like it was in past, but they're still pretty damn good. They can still move the ball when they need to. Texas Tech might jump out that big lead first half and then pretty much sit on it in that second half for all I care, just to get it over with. I don't think BYU is going to have the firepower. Again, this is another team throughout the year that they've had a lot of struggle wins themselves against teams that are, well, I feel like a couple teams, like Utah is a better team than them. They gave that away. There are a few other teams that gave the game away. But BYU, I don't think they're going to have the firepower against Tech. They're not going to have enough explosive plays against that defense. So, hell, I'm going to take Texas Tech. Hell, I'd be shocked if Texas Tech wasn't already covering at the half. So, yeah, give me the Raiders at 12.5.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with Texas Tech as well. Texas Tech was my dark horse Big 12 at the start of the season, and they have actually proven themselves much, worthy. We all kind of, Arizona State was one of the favorites, and I think we all kind of, but here we are.
Yep.
Moving on, SEC Championship, number 4, Georgia, at number 10, Bama. Georgia's a 2.5 point favorite.
It's Alabama, Georgia again, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's every year.
So Jordan, we start with you. Who you going with?
Well, if there's one thing Georgia can't do, it's beat Alabama. I mean, they've proven it time and time again. That being said, they've lost Alabama at home once this year. I don't think they do it again. Give me the dogs, minus 2.5.
All right, give them the dogs. Riddle.
Go ahead and let Tony go.
Tony.
Yeah,
I need a minute.
I'm going to put.
I don't got him fired up over here. He needs a minute.
So obviously, I think this is still going to be a pretty good game, just because if people in here have watched the recent history of Bama and Georgia games, they've been pretty exciting. Unlike a lot of other games you watch, between these two teams face up, whether it be a season game or a conference championship game, they show out. Either it's one or the other. One team comes back in the second half. I want to say Georgia, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to put the muzzle on Georgia and them barking dogs for a little bit, and I'm gonna give Todd. Riddle's over there going pumping like I'm wrong or something. I'm not wrong. I know ball. Calm down. I'm going off of history and just what, because hell, the last 2 times I picked fucking Georgia to cover and shit and win, and they don't fucking do it. So yeah, I'm a roll with the Tide here. To get this win and cover spread.
All right, Riddle.
All right. Georgia's defense has looked like a Kirby Smart defense the last third of the season, like they should have all year. They haven't looked that way all year, but they've controlled the games from start to finish the last half of the year, like they should have. And one of those was a 35-10 ass whooping of Texas, plain and simple. But Georgia has to come out this way in this game. When these two teams played back in September, they got behind big, which was their MO. Get behind, fight back, win, resiliency, as Kirby Smart likes to say. This is the most resilient team in the country. We might be, but when you continue to play that way, you will slip up. It's too much to ask any team in the nation to always have to come back. Alabama's the exact opposite. Alabama jumps out to leads, and then it's like they go uber conservative. Mm-hmm. Look at the Auburn game. Case in point, the Auburn game. They had that game in hand.
17-0 in the first quarter.
That should have been a walk in the park, and they had to hang on late to win that game. So it's the tale of two opposite teams. This will be a classic battle, I feel like, between these two teams, as it always is. But Kirby Smart needs this win. This is the one team that he has nothing over. Not a single fucking thing. Every other team he has coached against in the nation for 10 fucking years now, he has dominated, except for Alabama. He's 1-7 against Alabama. He's got 3 losses in this game to Alabama. Not quite. But he has to win this game, or it's the same old song and dance. I'm going to take Georgia minus the 2.5 because Kirby has to have this game. He has to have it. This is not a Nick Saban Alabama. This is a Kalen DeBoer Alabama, and you're already 0-2 against Kalen DeBoer Alabamas. You can't get behind the 8 ball again. You have to win this game.
All right. So I've been back and forth. I think Georgia is a really good team. I've got a lot of respect for Georgia, and at the end of the day, do I think they could beat us? Yes, I absolutely do. I think Alabama must win this game to be in the playoffs. Georgia is in regardless of this outcome, and I'm hoping because of that lacks or more, I guess, relaxed situation, that maybe Alabama gets the edge and they get in there and they get this W. So I'm going Alabama to upset Georgia and win the SEC title because they have to.
B, I would agree with you if Alabama wouldn't have won the regular season matchup.
I know. I've told y'all I don't like playing Georgia again.
Can't win the game. I'm just saying
I don't like it.
A relaxed feeling. I don't think there'll be any let off from this Georgia team.
Hey, Brandon, did you pick Alabama?
Yes.
Yes.
I feel like I have to because they have to win this game.
And I agree. This is a must win for both teams. Not so much for the playoff perspective. It's for two separate reasons.
Yeah.
Alabama needs it to keep their playoff hopes alive, I feel. Georgia needs it because they have to get this monkey off their back. They have to.
You don't want to go in the playoffs now 0-3 against killing the board teams. And
sorry, my sister needed a kiss.
No, it's fine. Oh shit! Goddamn, feeding the trolls, troll feedings. All right, moving on to the.
Like Joe Dirt over there. You're my sister.
So the Big Ten, the Big Ten matchup. And so before we get into this game, I want to say something. This is the number 1 versus number 2 team in the country. The only 2 undefeated teams left in the country. This is the game. And I bet you $100 to a bucket of dog shit it don't pull the same ratings as the SEC title game.
No.
I bet you $100 to a bucket of. Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to tell you guys, ratings matter. And when you have the biggest media markets in the country for the Big Ten schools, and they still can't pull the ratings that the SEC does, that has to mean something. It tells you where people go, where they flock, where good football exists, and it's in the SEC. But the Big Ten championship is number 1 versus number 2. And here we go. Indiana at Ohio State. Ohio State's a 4.5 point favorite. Riddle.
All right, so this is the main event we have all been waiting for since about week 7. We know these two teams are the best teams in the nation. We want to see them settle it on the field, and we get that opportunity, thankfully, because Ohio State did not shit the bed against Michigan this year. So we get this game. This is a historic defense for Ohio State. They're first in the nation in overall defense. They're first against the pass. They're fourth against the run. They're first in scoring. They're third and third down defense. They're second and first down defense. And they're first in red zone defense. Now, you can say that they haven't been tested outside of the Texas and Michigan game all you want, but it doesn't matter who you play as long as you're doing what you're supposed to against the teams you play, and they've done that to this point. Indiana is also a very good defensive team. They're fourth in total defense, but they're 14th against the pass. They're second against the run, second in scoring, fourth and third down defense, first in first down defense, and 14th in the nation in sacks. I expect this to be a really good game, but when you're on top of the mountain, and as Ric Flair likes to say, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And this is the defending champions that they're playing. And until Indiana beats them, they're going to be second fiddle. I'm taking Ohio State minus the 4.5 to win the Big Ten championship.
Kippy. What's up, Kippy? He came in just in time, brother. Hoosiers by 50. All right. Tony Pardo, you're up.
Yeah. Riddle covered all the stats. Two really physical teams defensively. Both got really great quarterbacks. You know, they've been talked about, mentioned for the Heisman. And I still, like Riddle said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. I know Kippy's up in here saying by 50. That's not happening, man. That is not happening. This Ohio State team, even from last year, is different because I said last week, I think they made a point emphasis this year that they're going to outmuscle you. They don't give a shit who you are, just like they did against Michigan. Hell, they got a running back named fucking Bo Jackson. I mean, that's a cheat code, back on old Tecmo Bo. I cannot pick Indiana. I think Ohio State, you're fist pumping, but I think y'all had Michigan covering last week. That wasn't me. I said Ohio State's going to fucking manhandle them, and they did because they made that a point this year. I think they've been playing with their food a lot this year. They just been, going through the motions. They just been winning just straight up. They don't give a shit. They're not trying to be high styling, profiling, I'm going to take Ohio State to cover this. I'm not saying they're going to blow them out of the fucking water, so calm down, Indiana. I'm not saying that. They could win by touchdown, and don't tell me that they can't, because that's ridiculous. And it's been a while since they won the conference championship, and I know it's been God knows how long since Indiana won. So, yeah, I'm going to keep rolling with Ohio State and the Buckeyes just because I feel like they are the more physical team out of anyone this year, and Indiana is physical. I gave them props against Oregon because I said Oregon always has issues physical defense. Indiana's got one, but I still don't think it's as physical, as good as Ohio State. So with that being said, yeah, I'm taking Ohio State and that 4.5.
And just to add, last week I was the only one that thought Michigan would keep that game close, and Ohio State went out there in very cold weather, snow, and everything else, and they dominated every aspect of that game. So
yeah. All right, Jordan.
I can't pick against them.
Yeah, this spread is perplexing to me. 4.5 in this game, just it doesn't feel right. Ohio State is the far superior team, probably across the board. Like Jeff said, historical defense. Poor Indiana doesn't have a shot on paper. Even Tony said there's no chance in hell he could pick Indiana.
Yeah, I can.
But I can. Give me the plus 4.5. Pull off an upset win.
Well, there we go. Give me. Let's make this very simple. Quarterback. I'll call it a push. I feel like both of them have earned a shot to at least go to New York. Running back. I don't think. I'll be honest with you. I think. Bottom line is they're both decent. Offensive line, we'll call it a push. Wide receiver, it's a blowout. It's not even fucking close. Defensive line, it's a blowout. It's not fucking close. Linebacker, it's a blowout. It's not close. And it's at the DBs, it's a blowout. It's not close. Ohio State is by far the best team. You have the best safety roaming the backfield in the country.
Where's he from?
Yeah, well, I mean, but he is the best, and I'll be honest with you, he's good. But I just don't see a world. I didn't say it's a blowout, though. I'm not going to say that. I just think Ohio State's defense is really good, and they're legit.
I think this is going to be a very hard-nosed, smash-mouth football.
It will be. Thank you, Fawn Cook.
It's going to be physical. I mean,
like I say, on paper, it's not even close. But there's just something about that spread. Something smells fishy.
It does smell fishy.
I
mean, it's great.
I mean, hell, Rudy. Rudy won a fucking game.
If it's a 27-24 game, you're in business. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting because I'm going to tell you they don't play for spreads, buddy. So we're going to move on to the last one
that we got.
4.5.
J Rock is 4.5.
Now it opened this. Fun note: this game opened at 5.5, and it came down to 4.5, even to 4 in some spots.
Yeah,
well, that's fucking Dave Portnoy.
He's loading up on Indiana just because.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got money to spend, buddy. All right. Last game.
About half this jar.
Yeah. Last game. Last game we got is Duke at number 18, Virginia. This is the game that could really cause chaos. And Kippy did message me this week and said the ACC could be left out, like he said several weeks ago.
I covered that earlier. If Duke wins, the ACC will more than likely be left out, But what the committee did this week is they've put themselves in a position to save face because they've got Notre Dame and Miami with BYU in between. Now, if BYU loses, they're going to have to put Miami in, and the ACC will still be represented.
14 viewers.
But yes, the absolute doomsday scenario for the ACC is for Duke to
Thank
win
you for
that
liking,
conference.
brother. Yeah. All right. So here we go. We're going to get into this last matchup because we got to get into Pardo's Pour. That's the section everybody's waiting on anyway. So if y'all have never experienced Pardo's Pour, y'all need to hang around. I promise you, when you hear this guy ranting, this is the shit that gets you banned on TikTok. Well, Saturday, if you have a chance to go to YouTube and go back and watch the highlights of Saturday's episode, you will see we got banned off TikTok because we were way too passionate. So, all right, Jordan, we're starting with you. We're starting with you. Duke at Virginia, 3.5 point spread. Who you got?
Duke at Virginia. Man, this is the most underwhelming game of the damn weekend.
Like, I don't even
James
care.
Madison is favored by 24, and it's probably going to have a better game than this as far as what to watch. Virginia's been a solid team. They've won the games all year. You know, but they're not impressive. If Darren Mensah has a good game, look for Duke to win this outright. He is that kind of player. He could take this particular game over. In the name of chaos, give me the Blue Devils plus 3.5.
Damn. Riddle.
Well, I'm glad me and Jordan are at least on the opposite side of two games this week. I'm very surprised how close this spread is for this game at 3.5 because these teams played on November 15th and it was a 17-point win for Virginia. I don't think that much has changed in 3 weeks. That's going to make this game that much different.
Hard to be a team twice in the same year.
I agree, but this isn't Alabama, Georgia. This is a 7-5 Duke team versus a 10-2 Virginia team. I like what Virginia's done this year. They deserve to be in this situation, and I'm just not buying the spread. Give me Virginia minus 3.5.
Tony.
Yeah. God, I don't. Yeah, it's a boring game. I don't really give a shit what happens either one way or the other.
Oh, shit. We're rhyming now.
These two teams are just stepping stones. These two teams are just stepping stones. And, yeah, pretty much like what Jordan said. Hell, I'm going to take Duke just because I want to see what happens. I want to see if they...
Makes me feel even better.
Hey, that's fine.
Now, let's be honest. Virginia's had two losses.
Be worried about me
year.
coming back. Yeah.
I agree.
Carolina State and to Wake Forest.
North Carolina State also beat Georgia Tech, and Wake Forest took Georgia Tech to the wire.
Thank you for following, Caleb.
North Carolina State finished 4-4 in a shitty ACC. Any given Saturday, baby. Any given Saturday. Wake Forest also 4-4 team. I mean, that conference. I don't see Virginia just overpowering Duke right here. They might. I mean, they could go out there and beat them by 60.
And I'm not saying
this game is wide open to me.
I'm not saying that they're going to go and blow them out because it's an ACC championship game and there's a lot on the line, and Duke's going to be ready for it. Like, let's just make that clear. This might be a 7-10 point game.
This better be a game where Mensah shows out. You paid $4 million for him. It's time for
absolutely. Manny Diaz needs that.
Yes, he needs this win. He might parlay this to the Penn State job.
He's not a Cutcliffe. Like, Cutcliffe took him to 2 ACC championship games, but Manny Diaz is not Cutcliffe.
Yeah. Okay. So we got Duke at Virginia. Who hasn't went? Me?
You. It's just you.
I'm taking Virginia.
Tony, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You should be worried. I'm trying to catch you.
I'm taking Virginia. I don't know. I like them better.
Well, Tony, we're only opposite in 2 games. Calm down.
just so everyone knows, we got Jeremy Pruitt in the chat. Got two Tennessee fans here, and they said thank you for the McDonald's bags. Next time, make sure you send the cash directly to their house.
I know a diehard Tennessee fan that would probably pay good money for an autographed McDonald's bag just to have in his office.
Oh,
absolutely. That was our special request.
Yeah.
He would probably pay pretty good money for that.
There was a comment on the purple. Since we're about to go into this is a little segue for you. It says, will there be any BBCs in Pardo's Pour this week?
The answer better be no. The answer better be no.
Oh,
So,
not the BBC.
So here we go. Jeremy, Holly and your sister.
Come here, sister.
So anyway, long story short, this is the moment. Riddle, give us the answer to the riddle.
Give me a kiss, sister. You can go back and watch the show.
This is the answer to the riddle, and then we're going to get into the section.
So I'm going to have to go back and watch. I only saw 2 correct answers come in on this, and I forgot to put it in the chat so that we could pin it. So I'll have to go back and look to see if there was a 3rd correct answer, but Chad got it first, and Big Hunt got it second. Nobody else got it this week. The front runners this week were not here. Josh and Dees were not here this week.
But Kirby talked earlier for a little bit.
I know his wife was here, but I never saw him come in.
I seen him join, but I ain't made no comments.
So, and this is the crazy thing. And let me pull this back up because it's honestly crazy. Kirby Smart is 116-20 as a head coach at Georgia. That means he's 115-13 against everybody else. And I said it when I was covering the Georgia-Alabama game. He's 1-7 against Alabama, and 3 of those losses were in this game that they're playing this weekend. So, Daniel on the YouTube says, does Pardo have anything left to pour after Saturday?
He has plenty. Dude, he spends more money than you even fucking could imagine.
So 1-7 against Alabama. They lost the 2018, 2021, and 2023 SEC championship games to Alabama. He's got a chance to right the wrongs this weekend. But, yeah, Chad got the first points there, the first place points. Big Hunt got the second place points.
Make a comeback.
I will add those totals up because that's 3rd and 4th place, getting the 1st and 2nd place points. This is going to get real tight going into bowl season. So
bowl season. And we ain't stopping until we stop. Fuck them. So
Chad on the purple said it's the Pardo pour, not the riddle pour. # know your role.
So just a couple of comments that have came in. So J Rock said
we all saw the Facebook post.
J Rock said he is former kicker Jeremy Shelley for Alabama. If that's true, J Rock, and you can prove it, we would love to have you on the show. We would love to have a former player on the show. And just
I remember you.
HB Cook Company, I know you've asked to join. I want you to know we're discussing and working on ideas on how to get viewers to be able to join in and ask questions. So just bear with us. We're just not there yet. With the setup that we have, we're not there yet. I think we're this close.
Josh, your comment just came in on TikTok. I agree. I said this about a month ago or so that I don't think this Georgia team is capable of winning championships. They just don't have it all like those Georgia teams have passed. And this Saturday will tell us a lot because this is the biggest hurdle that Georgia has, and it's Alabama. Plain and simple. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll have to go back and look. But I know Georgia has been favored in almost every matchup with Alabama since 2021 or so. And I think they've lost every one of them. So, except for the national championship game. So, this is the hurdle for them.
Yeah, Chad's done listening to you. He said we heard you first.
I was answering somebody else's question, Chad.
So this is a guy that's going to be in Riddle's wedding. So and you see how he's talking to him. But anyway, So this guy says you saw the report about Kalen and Penn State today, though. That's just trash. What's Penn State waiting on? Kalen DeBoer has come out and said he's not going to Penn State. I don't know what else he has to do now.
Penn State has screwed themselves. No, go ahead. I was just saying Penn State.
I'll just say this. I'll say this. Guys, in what world would you leave Alabama with the number 2 recruiting class right now? I'm just saying right now, number 2, depending on what site you look at, top 5 recruiting class, and go to Penn State where you have the 144th recruiting class behind Harvard. If he was going, he would have already been gone. And bottom line is he would have already started building his team. He's not going anywhere. You're not going from an SEC championship caliber team. And we are a caliber. We may lose the game, but we are still in the game. You're not leaving that to go to Penn State. Penn State. Yeah,
So-
send me some merch, J-Rock. Send me a DM, Jay. I would love to get anything you got. Like I said, I've got some cool stories. We've all got cool stories, and we would love to have you on the show for sure.
I'm a J-Rock. I'm a huge Georgia fan. I was born in Marietta. I've been a Georgia fan my entire life.
That's
I
true,
do have
J-Rock.
I do have an Alabama football in my room that is signed by Nick Saban. That's the only reason it's here. It's my wife's football.
I got one of them.
But yeah, I mean, if you send us stuff, we will promote you and promote your team because that's what we do here because we're college football fans.
Well, yeah, that's true. So here we go.
Hang on. Before we get started, I've updated the rankings to the trivia. I just want to throw this out here because a couple of them are in here. So Josh is still in the lead at 24 points. Big Hunt has moved into second with 21. Dees is now third with 20, and Chad has moved up to 17. So through bowl season and the playoffs, this is going to get interesting.
All right, it's that time of night. You all guys know. We're gonna turn the lights down real low, and we're gonna hand this ball off to Tony Pardo. For those of you that are new to the show, this is Pardo's Pour. Tony, tell us what the pour is brought to you by tonight.
Yeah, tonight's pour brought to you by the Deadwood. Deadwood presents the Tumbled Dice Straight Bourbon Whiskey Heavy Rye Mash Bill Single Barrel.
And how's it
This is
taste?
what the bottle looks like. I actually like it. Sunrise. I mean, this one. I mean, there's really not. It is heavy, but it's not like overly powerful. So I mean, it's very smooth drink. And
We got a bourbon lover in the chat. Hey, we're the guy. We're the channel for you. I promise you that.
Yeah. What's that?
There's a reason we're locked, loaded, and goated.
Yeah. When we say loaded, it's not necessarily a gun. I could be loaded on alcohol.
We could do shows in the off season just about bourbon. I promise you, we could probably talk just as much about bourbon as we could college football. So thank you for following, Josh.
Tonight, look at my little glass I got. Like this is,
and that's a Glencairn for all you wine glass drinkers.
Very mini baby.
That's a baby. That's a baby Glencairn.
I am trying to drink responsible tonight.
Good job.
Last Saturday was a little ugly, and I do want to take. I don't know what I said. I did go back on the. Watched the video on YouTube the other day, and I had no idea what I was saying at that time because I had way too much. I mixed it with tequila. That wasn't good. Obviously, never do that. But I do want to take this this chance to apologize to absolutely fucking no one. I don't care. Whatever I said that night, I probably meant it. It came from the bottom because what they say, I guess it gave me like I had a lot of courage. I do have no filter, but that night it all flowed out, and the Pony Tardo didn't care that night. So my alter ego, he didn't give a shit. So obviously I ranted a long time Saturday. A good thing I didn't save a lot of that rant for tonight because I literally spilled my guts out on Saturday's show. That entire show could have been a Pardo's Pour because I never shut up. But I do want to say, yeah.
Jordan, Jordan couldn't even get a word in. It's just
At one point, we have 3 of us hosting the show, and Tony has his
Absolutely.
own show. Somebody we have no idea who.
Yeah, me, Jordan, and Brandon.
Nobody's seen.
Me, Jordan, and Brandon are trying to keep everybody updated on all the games and everything going on, and Tony's still not talking.
So,
Stop talking.
What's
if
up,
I had any
guys?
feelings that day, Pavia took them. No, he didn't, man. Listen, my feelings and emotions, everything been fucking dead for a minute. Like I said, get rid of Tim Banks. Fucking tired of him. And yes, for the new people that are in here, I'm a Vols fan. J-Rock, you were kicker for Bama at once. That's cool. Fuck Bama, the whole state, by the way. I don't care. No, that's all I love, though. Unlike Vandy, I will say this. Vandy, and I know Tennessee has a rap of fans run their mouth, which I've never really been that type.
Not really. Not really.
No, not unless I get drunk, which that was deserved. I don't want to say certain words because I don't want to get TikTok, to kick us again and permanently ban us. So I'm trying everything in me to not say any type of word like bad word.
Hang on. Chad said, I'm a good cook, but I'm an even better pot stirrer.
You're not going to stir tonight very much. I'm just going to.
Kia says the best pour he's ever seen.
Well, I'm glad everybody enjoyed it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Josh.
I don't know who all was even in here, but they really got me good, apparently. I still do want to say this, though. Fuck Vandy. I don't give a shit if they miss the playoffs. I don't care. I don't feel any. I don't have any. I don't feel sorry for them. Because it wasn't too long ago, Tennessee was left out mainly because really Hendon Hooker. So I don't give a shit. I don't care. Yeah, you guys had the best fucking year you guys ever had in the history. It still wasn't going to make playoffs. Your fucking quarterback still probably not going to win the Heisman because now you got all these other quarterbacks that still have the opportunity to take that shit away. So, you know what I'm rooting for? Obviously, Commodores will not be making playoffs. They're still fucking little brother. They run the state just for that fucking day. But at the end of the day, just like Bama fans will say about us, and Jordan's mission too, it's just another Saturday to us. I've never, ever been worked up over a Vandy team in my fucking life, like I have, say, Alabama or Georgia or even Florida. I've never been worked up about Vandy, so let's calm the fuck down. Stop acting like you guys fucking matter. You still don't matter. You motherfuckers got a lot of work to do. These Vandy fans all of a sudden just come out of fucking nowhere. And I thought fucking Vols fans were terrible. God bless. These fucking Vandy fans are some arrogant fucking you-know-whats. I can't say it. That have accomplished absolutely nothing. And for motherfuckers to say Diego Pavia owns this state. No, he doesn't. He's 1-1. He literally got his teeth kicked in last year by our defense. And he lost to Nico on top of that. This year, we had no defense. I voiced my displeasure to that first game against Syracuse. I could see it. And that's the way it went all year. This was their best chance to, beat it, get us at home on a down year. And it still was not good enough for them. That was their Super Bowl. I hope those fucking losers enjoy their fucking bowl game. And I know they stole the kid from Georgia who was a 5-star, but in my opinion, he's a 3-star now because he chose Georgia. He chose Vandy over Georgia. That's sad. And I get it. Yeah, you want to cook for your city. The kid's from Nashville, all that stuff. Well, good for you. But now, he wanted, obviously, I guess, Kirby's not one of them coaches that's going to throw a freshman in there to start off the rip for his entirety of his career at that school. So I get it. Kid's going to start next year. And he's going to get a lot of humble pie himself, I think, along with a lot of Vandy fans next year who act like this guy is going to be the next Diego Pavia and just carry him to the promised land. It's not happening. The kid, Vandy, has a better shot at, say, winning a championship in my lifetime than, say, beating Tennessee 4 times in a row. That's how bad it is. It's not going to happen. The kid's not going to go 4-0. At best, probably a split. Maybe. Who knows? Depends on what Tennessee does with their coaching staff and the players that they bring in that actually want to buy into the system and play like a Vol and not, be letting their mamas and stuff control their emotions and all that good shit. And I think a lot of you know who I'm talking about. And that cancer's gone. And I think Jordan mentioned the other day, hell, losing Boo Carter probably hurt Pavia's chances to win the Heisman, because if Boo Carter was playing that game, Vandy probably scores about 60 on us, to be honest with you, because Boo Carter's that damn bad. But yeah, let's just Vandy fans, just enjoy this little trip that you got right now. Okay, this little short ride, this bandwagon, because the wheel's about to fall off. It's going to be a different story come next year, I promise you. Don't just be like me. Keep your expectations low. All right, keep them low, and you'll never be disappointed. That's the way you guys should approach every season. Because let me tell you, you're not going to contend year in and year out in the SEC. It's just not going to happen. And no one wants to go play at that damn high school field up in Nashville. Don't care what renovations you've done. It still looks like a fucking high school field down in Texas. So, with that being said, Tennessee still runs a shit.
I feel like we need to address some of these comments coming in for Pardo Sport.
Yeah, go ahead, because I'm
you
about
agree,
to run
Brandon?
out of gas.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead.
I'll just start, and you stop me when you want to go back on your pour.
Yeah.
Chad said, I was here. Apparently you was waiting on me. Kia said it was your offense that let you down, Tony.
Kids,
Chad.
no. Okay, we scored 24 fucking points. When can our offense just score 24 and fucking win? Stop it. That's stupid. At some point, the defense has got to be held accountability. There's no accountability. We're giving up fucking 40 plus every game almost. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Here we are. We've hit the popcorn.
It's fucking Vandy. It's fucking Vandy. Pavia's still shitty quarterback. He still jump throws. If we play the defense we played last year, hold his stupid ass in pocket, make him look stupid. And he did look stupid to begin the game. Because that's why he does.
He's coping, guys.
But we let that man run wild. That's a joke. That's Tim Banks' normal defense.
Tim Banks for assistant of the year.
Another one was Chad said, Jesus, you sound like an Alabama fan. Just another Saturday.
Hey, no, I'm speaking.
Only Alabama fans can it just be just another Saturday.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I'm not trying to be arrogant. It's the thing. I literally said I never get excited about Vanderbilt. Hell, I didn't even want them to be a fucking rival, because I know it's going to be more times than not they're getting their ass kicked by us. It's not really a rival. I hate it. I don't like it. I let that be known whenever they're coming up with these permanent, rivalry shit games. I obviously the Bama was a big one. I wanted to keep Florida. That's not what. Now we got to fucking deal with shitty ass Kentucky and shitty ass Vandy. Those cocksucking fans those fans like to run their mouth way too much
folks.
for not doing anything. Now go ahead, Riddle. Anything else? Comments I missed?
Big Hunt came in and said that pour was epic on Saturday. And as always, Pavia for Heisman, and Tim Banks is the best DC of all time. That's coming from a Georgia fan.
And Chad said that 100% touched him in the no-no zone. All right, guys. We're gonna close this out. We've already went way beyond. I think we had a great show tonight. I want to thank everyone that was here. We averaged well over what we normally do in terms of total viewers. And then obviously we've got a lot of new people that have came in tonight and kind of hung out with us and gave some comments. And we've actually quite enjoyed that. We enjoy the commentary and feedback. And just so you guys know, we are working on it. We are working on a way to get you guys, the fans, involved with the show, talking, asking questions, things like that. So we're trying to do better at reading the chats, and we're trying to do better at actually engaging, but we think we have a way. It's going to be next season because we're trying to revamp everything. But I just want to
work, guys.
Yeah.
We appreciate all y'all being here.
Yeah, appreciate everyone. Everyone. So tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your cousin that lives out back in the fucking outhouse that we need some support. So tell them go pick up their damn Nokia and give us a like and a follow, because it really would help us. We go live every Wednesday and Saturday on Twitch, Kick, TikTok, and YouTube. And we also have the audio version that you can re-listen to if you choose to on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. That's going to do it for all of us on Lock, Loaded, and Goated. We appreciate everyone for being here. Appreciate all the follows. Appreciate everyone for everything. We will see you Saturday night. It should be fucking fun.
See y'all.
Take care, guys.
See you guys.
See you guys.